Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We're going to continue our journey in discovering about this amazing language, my own native language that I'm still discovering why and how today. Maybe not why, but try to imagine, like reimagine, or actually for the first time, look at my own language in a new light of how it was formed. So yesterday we took quite some time explaining what is Chinese way of saying smoke and mirrors. So the corresponding one, we use 4 images to explain that. Yeah, there's nothing really like smoke and mirrors. Those two are contemporary, I guess. Both smoke and mirrors. Yeah, they're contemporary device, right? Ancient time, yeah, probably we do have smokes, but mirrors definitely is a like, contemporary thing. 梦幻泡影, Chinese way of expressing what illusions or things, bubbles can be burst and shadows can be light up, illuminated, and dreams can be waken up from. So all that 4 images used collectively to mean it's an illusion. It's something not you cannot hold on to. It's going to disappear. It's going to change. Okay. Today we are going to continue with 影, 如影随形. And I think it's a beautiful expression in that these two characters sharing the same elements. Okay, one by one. 如 in our first episode ever, if you check S1E1, Season 1, Episode 1, we have 风景如画. I explained the 如 composed of this female figure with the mouse symbol. So female is a Chinese female figure depiction that I regarded as hips and got this kind of hand kind of wrapped orderly as if very submissive image of female figure back then, and then this mouth symbol with exaggerated up tilted corners of the mouth. So mouth often used as a symbol for speaking, and if somebody who can speaking is power back then too. Like if you can speak, you have the opportunity to get heard. That is power, empowering or powering. So with a woman and speaking next to each other, that implies that this woman is following the instruction from the speaking, whoever is giving instructions. So this originally means following instruction, but today we use 如影随形 means comparing, as if A comparing it to B. Like A is following the same logic or pattern or image, however you want to, like it's analogy to B. Okay, so that's kind of a rule. It's comparing. It's one follow another. 影 is shadow. So we have this 3-stroke thing. Same here, 3-stroke thing. You can see the ancient times style of this 3 strokes is a little bit different from the contemporary. Contemporary is a little bit upward curve, but the ancient one here is a little bit downward facing curve, right? Kind of facing this way instead of this way. Anyways, they mean kind of pattern or decoration or shape. I mean, by itself, it's already like something visually, like you can see a pattern, a recurring thing. So that's the origin of that. And the 景 paired with under the sun, the block with energy in the middle. So that's our sun symbol. And then we have this city symbol, which is, this roof shape stacking up high. So this is, I guess, this can mean as a drapey fabric, but now I can see it means as some spacing between the top structure and the bottom. So as we use it in the tree symbol, it's signifying the trunk has some distance from the canopy to the ground. So we use this one as the spacer in between. And I'm not exactly sure of the box over there. It's like a circle over there. But the whole structure, I view it as a tall building. And in ancient times, building tall architecture is, requires extra resources, extra talents to complete it. So whichever town has the tallest building must be the capital where resources concentrate, right? That's the capital back then. So under the sun, the capital, that's quite a sight. So we use that originally means scenery or sight. So sight, especially with the sun, shine on the city, the town with the tallest tower over there, forms kind of a recurring pattern. We use that to mean shadow. And here in this symbol, we have this two short horizontal lines on one long vertical line. So that originally is a type of weapon, or I guess it's a type of farming tool as well, because it has a long stem and has something installed at the very end. So it could be a weapon or farming tool, and two of them next to each other. That, if it's a farming tool, I suspect, because Chinese language is this agriculture-based language, right? And that's the most day-to-day device that we use, right? It's a common, how do you say? It's a commonly used work instrument, right? For your work. And you use that twice next to each other that represent the objects, the things, the device that you used back then. So device with the shape, that means concrete shape, like touchable, like these are farming tools you have to use in your hand, tangible, everyday object, right? And that eventually use like just any kind of object or shape, something we can get hold of, we can get a hand on. So that's shape. So we have shadow and shape, and this is a more complicated way to say follow instead of just a woman symbol and a mouse symbol. Okay, so here we have this walking sign that has three recurring patterns, but instead of like three strokes, kind of like a parallel, diagonally down, this got a little bit up tilted, going upward 3 times. That's our footsteps. So footsteps is reoccurring, right? Basically similar shape, similar pattern. And we have this foot symbol at the bottom. So foot and footsteps, the whole thing means walking, okay? Just like the mouse symbol refer to speaking, we have the foot plus footstep means walking. And then we have this steep cliff image, got a 3 recurring stacking up spacers over there. Simply means it's up straight. Going up straight is hard to climb over, kind of blocker thing, right? And then we have the meat symbol, and we have 3-finger hand symbol, and we have this tool that ancient times people use, I guess, to measure, because it is measure or to form a straight corner, because this is like a perpendicular, making sure things are perpendicular. So that's the kind of tool. Just like this is farming tool or weapon, this is probably building tools, like civil engineering, building some stuff tool over there. And there's a little bit of a switching of space. So this symbol is a simplification of the middle piece. And this symbol with 1 dot and 1 kind of like a elongated Z letter, English letter Z, right? And that's our walking symbol. And then we have this hand. So the whole thing is follow. So follow we can get because we have a walking there, right? And then this is the blocker. And I guess if you have work and you have meat, like food, and you can use your work, you can use your hand to force labor, and in the middle is kind of a blocker and you can walk. My understanding of like there are 5 images, actually 6 images placed in this pretty complicated picture that eventually means follow. This was, I think this was used as the original of like excursion, like outgoing somewhere, and then it's well supported. You have a food follow you. You have people who are, if you're something broken, you have people to fix for you. It's well taken care of group of people supporting somebody's ancient luxurious traveling plan to somewhere far away or on the tall ground. So that's the kind of traveling, and eventually it means following. So I guess it's like one big important person followed by or serviced by a whole slew of specialized people. So 如影随形. So if you put 4 of them together, then we have this comparison, like shadow follow shape. Does that already making sense? So Chinese use this expression just like literal meaning of as if the shadows are always going to follow the shape. So I got this picture to give you the sense of, yes, shadows is right next to the shape always, right? It's going to be, depends on the angle of the light source. The shadow is going to be long or short, but it's always going to be next to the shape. So 如影随形 is Chinese way to say something, the shadow and the shape are inseparable. The shadow is following the shape closely, like right next to each other, wherever the shape is placed. So that's our 如影随形. Cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.